Okay, so it's just called Conjuring tapes, and it's a lot. It's a majority of lost footage, you know, footage, shot film. There is like it's shot like a actual film at the beginning, and then it goes into lost footage, right then and there, because it follows pretty much while sorting through their late friend's belongings. Two women discover VHS tapes showing them haunting, unfamiliar scenes, each one drawing them into the grasp of a mysterious, malevolent entity. And yeah, I get like that's basically the plot, and it's sort of like VHS, like the anthology VHS horror flick, which I would say those are better because those have at least better. Those actually have gore in them, because this and blood. Because this one, from what I saw, didn't really have much of any gore, aside from maybe you might see like blood spurts on people, but no actual blood and guts or anything like that. At least with the VHS franchise, they add actual makeup effects, special effects, and that practical effects. Here we have amateur acting. There's really nothing positive I can give the movie aside from um, I guess maybe the idea of like two people sitting down and watching horror tapes of their friend, but then it's actually videos of them as different people in different segments. I thought that was, I was confused at first because I'm like, what? And then they also realize that's what's going on. Wait, how am I part of that? I did, like the first. Oh, this is directed and written. Well, it's directed by two people, and it's also co-written by one of the directors. But I mean, the movie it starts off as an actual movie where our one of our leads wakes up from a nightmare, and she hears a noise, sees her friend in the bathroom, and she kills herself. She wakes up having a nightmare of her friend killing herself. And then I guess they cut to her and her other friend going through that dead friend's belongings, and they find these tapes, so they watch them one after the next, seeing it like they're in these tapes and they're not really phased much by them. They are, but they're like not. They're kind of downplaying. Like the one friend wants to continue watching them while the other friend's like, we need to stop watching these. And I mean, the first story or tape, literally, it's a group of friends, three friends, and then one girlfriend of the third friend. Pretty much, they want to do a seance. They do a seance with a Ouija board. Stuff happens where it acts like it's paranormal activity, except not as creepy or atmospheric, and downright silly in terms of acting. I mean, oh my god, the guy that's holding the camera, handling the camera, he is horrific in his acting. I mean, his delivery of being scared and his lines of "oh, whatever" and cussing, and his reaction to like his girlfriend being possessed, and "oh, please don't be behind me, please don't be behind me," and then like the ghost of this other chick. I thought the one scene in that was creepy, where they're walking in the dark at night, and the boyfriend sees a silhouette of like somebody standing in the road. You don't see what they look like, but you just know they're not right. I like that. I know it's generic, cliche, whatever. I don't mind scenes like that, but that's like the only decent thing in the whole first tape. And these tapes, they're over very fast. Like they're like maybe 10 minutes, because we can't afford any role with special effects, so we're gonna try to, you know. But yeah, the guy, he goes running around as if it's he's rehearsing for his role in a Paranormal Activity film, which I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of that franchise, but even those have more going for them in terms of character. At least there's a story, continuous story going on. Granted, it does get a little muddled and towards the third the third and fourth one, and then even the fifth one. But yeah, and then the second story, I believe, is, I want to say, about a therapist. And again, the tapes are of these two main characters, but they're playing different people in these tapes, which is, it was confusing to me, but then they realize that's what's going on, that they recognize, hey, that's me, but okay. But the one girl plays a therapist, or no, the second story is of this black guy and this other buddy of his. I guess they really need the money, so they decide to go to this girl who, I guess the one guy, he's helping his buddy for, for YouTube, I guess, because he's like a vlogger, or I guess an influencer. So like he gets his buddy to go with him to this building, and he thinks the one girl's in on it, even though she's holding a freaking shotgun, holding your gun, dead to right. And he's like, oh, you guys are awesome with these special effects or the makeup effects. Because like they walk into this room where they see the one person chained up, because the girl's like, my girlfriend, or I think it was supposed to be her friend or girlfriend, or her friend is chained up in this room and very animalistic acting, and the guy's like, his whole reaction's like, wow, that's amazing, I admire your acting. And I'm like, I don't admire this guy's acting, because I thought it was horrible. Even the black guy, like his whole reaction to stuff, granted he does try to leave, but then he gets stopped and killed, off screen, of course, because what happens is the possessed person pulls a Jean Grey and pretty much force pushes him back into the wall. I guess that kills him, and then he disappears, of course, off camera. And then the one buddy who's surviving, or who's left, he realizes, oh, this isn't a prank. And the chick with the shotgun starts shooting at him, because I guess she went crazy, or she's possessed or something. And then he finds his black buddy, but then that black buddy, he's possessed, I guess, somehow. And then the girl just shoots the guy, and then it cuts to, then that's the end of the segment. Like, it's really not even that long, and it was boring, wasn't scary at all. And then the third storyline, the third tape, which I forget what the names. One was Ouija. The other one, the second one was Possession. I forget what the third one was, or the fourth one. I think the fourth one was just not the wraparound. This movie, it's weird, because then it cuts to, they put another tape in, and it's this therapist woman who, we don't even know anything about this character as well. They hint that maybe, I guess, her son was kidnapped, possibly. I only say that because she gets this patient in her room, and he's all, jumpy and all that, and scared to talk. So like, at one point he changes into, like, his voice like changes to like a child's voice. Literally, like a little kid's voice is coming out of this guy's mouth, and it's her son's voice. And instead of her being like, this is too much, what the heck is this, her reaction of that of get this guy back in here. I need to communicate with my son, I guess, or she thinks he kidnapped her son, I guess, because then she's asking him, "Give me my son. Where's my son? What'd you do with him?" And then I'm like, "What? I'm missing. I don't understand her, because they don't even." And then she's talking to the phone with this other guy. I guess it's her husband or her boyfriend or her friend. They don't even specify what that is. And he's just so nonchalant. "I'll talk to you Saturday." And then by that time, she brings the guy back in that she had the session with, tries to get him to talk like her son again, or communicate with her son again, I guess. And then she kills him. I'm like, what? Because then he turns into like a possessed dude with no makeup effects of him being possessed. It's just, he acts all crazy a little bit and, monstrous. And then she just bulldozers on top of him and just, I guess, gouges his eyes out and kills him, I guess. And then she sings herself into insanity. And then it ends with her getting a phone call. And we hear like muffling on the other line. And then she's like, "Okay," or "I'll be there." And then she walks out the room. And then that's the end of that segment. And then I'm going, what? And then then we cut to it's as if it's a YouTube, as if this is on TV and a random ad popped up. Because then it goes to these different people, I guess YouTubers, talking about this cult. I forget what they're even called, but this cult where they're talking about they save people and they help people change their ways or whatever. And so where this is going. And I'm like, okay, I'll let it go a little bit. And then we have the girl, one of the girls from the opening that's watching the tapes. She is one of these YouTubers or reporters, or she has a cameraman, and then she has this other girl with her who she says her brother's in this cult. She wants to try to get her brother out of the cult, or at least talk to him. So, and I had a feeling she was in on it from the get-go, the way her demeanor was, and I don't know, she just came off very off. I don't know if that makes any sense, but she came off very there and bizarre and creepy. And then, or not even creepy, just and then we meet I love how the girl of the group, the main chick in the group, she's like, "Oh, they want us to give them our phones and let them blindfold us and get in a car with them, and no cameras." I'm like, what? And she's so nonchalant about it, like she's not worried. And then even the guy comes out with holding a gun at his side, and like she's like, "Oh, that's just for protection." I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. Like, you deserve to die at that point. You're stupid enough to justify. And then, like, what happens? Oh, they get there. Then they meet the cult leader, and she does this little spiel of what they're about. And then the sister of the brother that's there, she shoots, I guess, her brother. I believe it was her, because she says it's her brother. But then but then they knock out the main chick, and then the camera guy, her buddy, and then they're underground. They wake up with a camera, and then it's just a generic lost footage film of people screaming and running around as if it's Blair Witch. I would say that's even a better film, because at least, it's more atmospheric, and you somewhat care about the characters more. It's not doing this stupid, "Oh, we're the same people but playing different roles," and literally no character development at all. And then what happens? Oh, they meet, I guess, the possessed brother of the sister, and he chases them as if it's Five Nights at Freddy's or Poppy's Playtime, wherever, in the cavern. And what happens? He kills both of them, of course, off screen, because, yeah, get the camera falling, and then our two main girls that were watching the footage or the tape, then they turn around, they hear chanting, and then all of a sudden the camera pans away from them, and then it pans back, and then they're out of the room, but then they're inside the TV with this other, I guess their deceased friend, and that's it. And then the movie ends, and then I say, F this movie, because it sucked, it wasted my time, there's better this movie tries, at first I was gonna give it some credit to where, oh, it's trying to, this is a freaking long movie, but then, like, it just goes into generic lost footage territory where we have characters running around on, screaming. It ends even generically. Like, there's no, nobody to root for, really, and nothing's interesting aside from, again, they're trying to figure out what's going on with the footage, them inside the footage, but then they don't do anything with that. And then the one chick, oh, never mind. But by the end, like, it sucks. The movie, there's really no gore in it. You get blood, but there's, like, no special effects or makeup effects of gore, that I remember. The acting's atrocious from all fronts. I mean, and the editing is odd at times. It abruptly cut from the one tape to, oh, it's an ad for this cult group that I didn't even know it was going to be on tape, because they don't even put a tape in. It just cuts to this ad, and then it cuts to these YouTubers. Also, Nostalgia Critic is in this. He has a little cameo in this, which I thought was random and funny. I'm like, I wonder how much budget they used to get that guy on here. But yeah, overall, it is a forgettable lost footage film, and even when it tries to be not lost footage, it fails because it doesn't do anything with the actual plot outside. It doesn't do anything with the wraparound. The wraparound was more interesting to me, aside from what they don't do with the wraparound. And it just ends abruptly with them stuck in the TV. So, yeah. This movie sucked balls. I don't recommend it. There's better lost footage films. I mean, Blair Witch for one, Project, Unfriended, the second one. There's way better lost footage film. Even The Gallows, like, I'm not the biggest fan, but even I like that film more than this, because at least I relate it to the characters and in terms of what they were doing in there with the play and drama stuff. It had a cool killer, at least. Here, you don't get any, it had atmosphere where this one didn't. So, yeah, So overall, I don't recommend it at all. But even if you're a fan of lost footage, again, go to there's better ones. So, yeah, no. If anybody's interested in requesting content such as movie reviews, commentaries, reaction videos, my PayPal will be in the description down below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace and love.